Hey guys, I'm Ben Hemming, and today I'm talking about someone who changed music forever. Not just as a frontman, not just as a cultural icon, but as a songwriter. I'm talking about Kurt Cobain. When people talk about Kurt Cobain, they often focus on his tragic life or the grunge movement, distorted guitars, flannel shirts. But what they don't seem to focus on is his strength as a songwriter. That's something that I really wanted to focus on in this video. Kurt had an ability to take a handful of chords and make them sound devastatingly effective. And I feel that nothing really demonstrates that more than Nirvana's breakthrough song, Smells Like Teen Spirit. The song has 4 chords and that's it, but it's really the quiet, loud structure that really draws you into the song, and Dave Grohl's amazing drumming as well. And I feel like it really is a testament to the band. It really kick-started their career and threw them into the limelight. And it's something that I can really relate to as a songwriter, because you don't really need to have anything more than just 4 chords, and if the song comes together, it really can have such a huge impact on an audience. Kurt Cobain's lyrics weren't polished poetry. They were fragmented, often cryptic on the surface. But when you look deeper, you really see the sense of honesty and truth in his songwriting. He wasn't afraid to show the uglier side of his condition, his depression, his sarcasm. He once said, "I don't have the power to put emotions into words, so I put them into music." And I think that's something that really did make his songwriting hit so hard. And it's something that I can really relate to as a songwriter myself. I think it's very important to have that sense of truth and sense of honesty in what you're doing. It's something that's really becoming lost in today's society. I think people become too focused on trying to paint with the broad brush strokes in the aim of having something that will hit a chord with an audience. But I feel if you're doing something that has a true sense of your own self, I feel people really respond to that honesty and vulnerability. And I feel like that was something that Kurt was doing in his music, and it was a real reaction to the kind of pop music that was around at the time, because Kurt was all about that honesty and truth, and I think that really came across. I feel what's really beautiful about Kurt's songwriting is the contrast between melody and noise. If you look at his songs, Come As You Are, About a Girl, Lithium, they're all built on hooks. I feel like one of Kurt's major influences on his songwriting was anything from the Beatles to the Pixies, and I think that really does epitomize the work that he put out there, because there really is like a pop song hidden away underneath that punk ethic, which was such an important part of the band's style and music. I think Kurt proved that you don't need to overproduce or have 200-word verses to make something special or have an impact. I think he proved you really just do need a handful of chords and a scream to really make a resonance with an audience. I think at the time, Nirvana were often criticized as just being a noisy punk band. But when they did MTV Unplugged, I think that the critics really did change their mind about the band. The songs were stripped back to their most rawest, purest form, just acoustic guitar with minimal drumming or accompaniment, and the strength of the songs really did shine through. I think for me, Kurt's genius wasn't being a guitar hero or a grunge poster boy. It was the strength and honesty of the music that he was writing. And I feel like that is why 30 years later, they still sound as fresh. I think that's something that I really relate to as a songwriter myself. It's really important to have that sense of honesty and truth in what you're doing with music, because ultimately, if you're not doing it for yourself, who else are you doing it for? If you try and do something that's going to appeal to a wider audience, I feel your message will just become watered down and weak and forgettable, and ultimately won't stand the test of time. So one of the main things that I've learned from listening to Nirvana, listening to Kurt Cobain's songwriting, is really that sense of putting across your most rawest emotions and your most vulnerable feelings. I feel like that is the way to really speak to an audience, especially in this day and age where really there's so much truth and honesty lacking in music. So what's your favourite Kurt Cobain song? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about songwriting, I have an ebook out at the moment, and the link is also in the description for that. So stick around for more deep dives, and remember, simplicity is key. See you next time.